everybody, welcome back to BobkeTV. Well, Sergio Henao, it was announced by Team Sky would be returning to racing at the Dauphiné, which starts tomorrow. Henao was suspended, if everybody recalls, April the 20th, the day before the Flèche Wallonne, where Henao was one of the pre-race favorites, for abnormalities in his biological passport. At the time, Team Sky voluntarily withdrew Sergio Henao from competition because the UCI had questions about some of the presumably red flags raised by Sergio Henao's bio passport. That happened once before in his career back in 2014, and it was a similar outcome. Sergio Henao allowed to race again. So Henao will travel from Colombia to the Dauphiné and presumably be fit to start the Criterium du Dauphiné in the service of Chris Froome, the defending champ, who is trying to win his third Dauphiné. My question is, when will the UCI understand when a rider is in violation of the biological passport, and when are the abnormalities a result of living, being raised, training at altitude? Until they understand it fully, and then until they can make a definitive judgment about whether a rider is cheating with drugs, whether he is doping, whether he is manipulating his blood artificially, or if his fluctuations in the biopassport are because of the aforementioned relationship to altitude. I would recommend that until they understand it completely and can give everybody absolutely proof positive that somebody is cheating, they should not suggest a rider be taken out of competition if they have any doubts about it. So my question is, and I'm sure they have teams of scientists lined up to study the phenomenon of altitude training on rider performance and how it relates to the testable system within each athlete. When will they stop preventing athletes from pursuing their professional career? So I think they've done a great disservice to Sergio Henao, and allowing him to race again that's great, but he's missing out on a month and a half of racing and training and living in limbo, and that's maybe the worst thing. Why put an athlete through that if you don't have absolute proof? And how long is it going to take for the UCI to understand the effects of altitude on racing and training and human performance and how that relates to their own biological passport? Let me express this one fundamental idea that I have on top of everything, the backdrop of everything. The biological passport is one of the most effective tools that any governing body in any professional sport has in the fight against doping. So the UCI is to be commended in implementing this and sticking to it and continuing to test and learn about what athletes go through on a day-to-day basis and when it can be used to determine unequivocally when an athlete has been cheating with drugs. So it's in not an enviable position to be in by any stretch of the imagination. And hopefully Sergio Henao has kept his morale up and his training up and can get right back into the swing of things racing at the Criterium du Dauphiné. And best of luck to Sergio as he continues on his professional career. Looking at his case and how it has been determined that he is not in violation of the passport, and what were the doubts to begin with, can go a long ways in furthering our understanding as followers of the sport, fans of the sport, people dependent on the sport for their financial well-being. So the future of the sport is in the hands of the UCI. Kind of a scary proposition. Please comment on this. Sergio Henao, good luck. Please subscribe, thumbs up, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks a lot, everybody. These are the dangers we face every single mile every day all over the world. Fault. That's what everybody is fixated on. Whose fault is it? Who is liable for whatever injuries were sustained? And I'd like to start off by saying, number one, we have an inalienable obligation